What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our late night news roundup here on Anfield Agenda. Over the course of this video, I'm going to give you the latest on Darwin Núñez and his Liverpool future, Luis Diaz and interest in him from Saudi Arabia that looks like it could be an offer on the way. Then we're going to speak about Angelo Stiller and how he could be back on Liverpool's transfer radar, as well as Hugo Ekitike and a few other interesting bits and pieces. We do want to know your thoughts, my friends, as always, so do let us know in the comments section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and of course we would love you to hit that subscribe button, as well as jumping into the Anfield Agenda WhatsApp channel, where we've had over 3,000 people in the first 6 days join. It is completely free to do so, and the link will be in the description of this video. We're going to be giving you the updates in there before we make any content over this summer's transfer window. So if you want to be in first with the news, you know where to go. Right, let me start off by addressing your absolute frustration about how long this deal with Florian Wirtz is taking. I understand it. I absolutely agree with anybody who wants to moan at me about it and say, Craig, you said this was close. What's happening? I can't explain why Leverkusen are dragging their heels on it, but I will reiterate, you have nothing to be concerned about. The deal will happen and it will be a British transfer record. Other than that, honestly, I can only apologise for how long it's taken, but everybody is shocked at why this one isn't over the line just yet. Right, let's move on and speak about Al Nassr, and they're prepared to offer 85 million euro to sign Luis Diaz. Now, what we don't know is if Luis Diaz has any interest in moving to Saudi Arabia. Some reports have suggested that he doesn't, that he still wants to spend his time in Europe. We know that Barcelona and Deco are huge admirers of his. Can they come up with the money that would tempt Liverpool into a deal? Well, they know the asking price there now, and it seems to be just over £70 million. So let me know what you think happens with Lucho here. Obviously, Al Nassr have basically told Sadio Mane today, bye-bye. So they're going to look to bring in somebody to cover his position there on the left. Ronaldo looks like he's staying. Would that be enough to tempt Lucho? Honestly, I don't know. From Liverpool's perspective, it seems like the club are relaxed about it. They certainly have no desire to push Lucho out the door, but if an offer comes in that works for everybody, and this is important, and Liverpool can bring in a replacement, who knows what we may have in store over the next couple of weeks. Right, next up, let's move on to speak about an article from Andy Hunter of The Guardian. And the reason I bring this up is there's one particular line in it that makes me excited as a Liverpool fan. It said there will be several exits from Liverpool this summer. Don't worry, that's not the part that excites me. To help fund a statement of intent in the transfer market. And that, my friends, is the part that excites me as a Liverpool fan. Because we know the Wirtz situation. We know Kirkes will join. We know we've got Frimpong, young goalkeeper, brought in. But if we're still talking about a statement of intent in the market, well, your guess is as good as mine as to who those other players may be. But we are zeroing in on a potential target in midfield. So this report coming out of Spain earlier on said, breaking, Angelo Stiller is no longer part of Real Madrid's summer transfer plans. Hint, I think they might be looking at Zubamendi, but let's wait and see. Goes on to say in this piece, though, that Liverpool are extremely interested in the German. Arne Slot is reported to be impressed by his tactical maturity and organisational skills. And I can totally understand that. Stiller is somebody I've watched a bit of, and not enough to give a take on whether he's good enough or not, but enough to say I liked what I've seen, and we know that his name is being linked with Liverpool. Now, I've been honest with you guys and said I don't know the situation at centre-back and centre-forward, and I don't know if Arne wants to bring in another midfielder. If we do, he is very much in the, I would say, definitely worth considering and definitely realistic as a target. But it will come down to what happens maybe with Stefan Bajcetic. We know that he's had a hamstring injury that he had surgery on at the end of the season. The Echo reported he's going to have a race against time to be fit for pre-season. So do Liverpool wait and be patient, or do they dip their toes in the transfer waters and go and sign Angelo Stiller? I think most people would be happy if Stiller was brought in, although that's not to say a lot of people like myself still don't really like Stefan Bajcetic. Moving on now a little bit from Florian Plettenberg around Hugo Ekitike, because, well, that name isn't going away either. No agreement yet between Hugo Ekitike and Chelsea, responds Florian, reports Florian even. Eintracht Frankfurt have also not received any official offer from Chelsea. A participation in the Club World Cup is currently ruled out because, of course, that would have to be done by 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Unclear how things will progress with Chelsea. A deal in the next transfer window is still possible. What he means by that is when it reopens on the 16th. But Liverpool remain in the race and have also held concrete talks with the players' camp as Darwin Núñez, Diogo Jota and Federico Chiesa are all candidates to leave. Now, I have nothing new on Chiesa. It certainly feels like if he does move, it'll be back to Italy. With regards to Diogo Jota, again, not heard anything concrete on his impending departure. Diaz, yes, we know there's interest there, and we know that Barcelona are hovering around. And Darwin, well, this is kind of where we're at here with Darwin. So this report from Nico Shira said that Darwin Núñez has turned down Al Hilal's approaches. He's ready to leave Liverpool. Liverpool are going to ask €55 million or about £45 million from, according to this report. And Núñez's priority is to stay in Europe. Now, if he does stay in Europe, where's he going to go? Is it going to be, I don't know, Napoli? Is it going to be Atletico Madrid? Truth is, I haven't got a clue, but it's going to be the first one that puts down the £45 million on the table for Liverpool. And I do hope that we see this move quickly, because Liverpool are going to need to recoup that money. And again, they're not going to want to commit to bringing in another centre forward till they know that we're going to have the space for one. So when the Darwin sale happens, I think then we start having the conversations around who the replacement striker is going to be. Isak's name still isn't going away, and EKITIKE's name still isn't going away. I'm not going to sit here and say I know who the target is, like I've been saying all the way through. Haven't got a clue, but excited to find out. Now, I mentioned the other day about a potential reunion for one of our players with Johnny Heidinga, who of course has just become Ajax's new head coach. And that player is Jaros, like we've mentioned. Another report today suggests that with Georgie Mamardashvili arriving this summer and Liverpool having agreed a deal for him, that Football International, which are a Dutch outlet, says that Ajax are considering a move to sign the Czech Republic international, which would see him reunited with Johnny Heidinga after he left the Reds to become Ajax manager earlier this month. With the young goalkeeper coming in, with, of course, Georgie Mamardashvili coming in and Alisson Becker still there, it does make sense for Jaros to go and get football. Now, what this piece doesn't say, and what I don't know is that going to be on loan, or is it going to be a permanent transfer that would see him go over and join Johnny Heidinga at Ajax? Either way, be a good move for him, a good club to play football in, and again, would be another step in his career, making sure he gets minutes, whether it's permanent or it's a loan. Let's wait and see what happens there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for now. Again, tomorrow, we hope, we wait, we'll see. But we will be back at 8:45 for the late night agenda. We'll have our news video at 4:30, 4:45 as always. And again, appreciate all of your support. If you could subscribe to the Clips channel to help us get to 50k on there, you'd be doing us a huge favour. And also, don't forget about the WhatsApp channel. It is free for you to join, and we'll give you the most up-to-date info we can in there. And we appreciate the over 3,000 people that have joined us so far. Until then, my friends, thank you for your patience. I know it's frustrating, but we'll get there in the end. Much love. Bye-bye.